Yeah, I just took a little break to go get my thing started on the YouTube. I don't know, for some reason I want to just get her done. So the Wicked Good, or no, Crazy Wise went in at 1941. So by the time I'm done, it'll be ready to go on YouTube. So oh yeah, so Subspace Rhapsody. Why do I love it so much? Let me tell you why. Because I guess you could watch it in my when I first started, like here I'm watching Strange New World, Star Trek. I'm a big Trekkie, a lot of Trek the last many years, some of which were like really delayed from their production, like Star Trek Discovery. There's one called Enterprise that predates, it's the very first in the timeline, like when Earth just started to just explore. And then the original series was from the 60s, but like Enterprise was later, and then that, and then Discovery, and now Discovery is going to shoot off something. It's just about to be released. It's a movie with Michelle Yeoh, something 31, Section 31. That's their like Secret Service Star Trek. It's like, oh, kind of dark and a little bit different. But anyway, Star Trek Discovery was super good. But anyway, Star Trek Strange New Worlds is the newest, aside from now, Section 31 is going to be a movie that I am looking forward to seeing. I think it's releasing in January 2025. But Star Trek Strange New Worlds, they are actually in the middle of recording season 3. So I've seen season 1, season 2. They were done in Ontario, Canada. I don't know, somehow Canada is cheaper maybe or whatever. So anyway, that's fun. That's cool. And I was kind of enjoying the show. So this musical, and I've never heard of a musical. What? How could, what? That doesn't make any sense. And yet it does. It totally does. And then when I saw it, I'm like, I've probably watched it 6 times, 7 times. I've listened to the album over and over and over and over and over. Like on Spotify, they tell you at the end of the year, and like all of the songs from that are intermixed in my top 100 listened to songs, because I'd often throw the thing on, jump in the shower, and get ready for the day. So I'd listen to the album over and over and over. But let me offer it to you as movie medicine. Even though it's not a movie, it's one episode in a season. I think it could even stand alone, but I mean, watching the whole thing, it's an option. I think the way to watch it these days is Paramount purchased all of the Star Trek, and they're the ones creating this. So I have no idea if they're going to let me show these videos that I'm going to give you clips of from the songs of this exact episode. And if not, then I will just cut them all out and it will become a different video. But if I can, I'm going to be sharing some of the songs, because most of the songs I've already showed I'm Ready in the video from December 30th. I'm Ready, which is the name of that one was Reactions of a Wicked Good Life. And so anyway, so this, I feel like it is a beautiful, it really speaks to the physics of consciousness and like what is a human being, what is reality. Well, the reality fields that you're embedded in make a difference. So the really cool, and I'm not going to worry about spoilers, because honestly, I've watched it over and over, and I'm going to watch it again, and I would watch it on live theater format if I could. And I'm really encouraging, I'm really wishing, that's a big dream of mine, for that to be a live theater production. And it could be almost, it could be a movie, like in a movie screen, and done like the Rocky Horror Picture Show, like where we could all, as an audience, we can dress up and attend and go participate and create a really fun movement around that particular episode, because it's just such a beautiful. I've always liked musicals. Music pierces the fragmented ego mind, or the left brain materialist objective materialist mindset. It has the potential to do that, but it's a beautiful depiction in science fiction format, because what they've done is they've gone into a part of space, they ran into something they didn't understand, they didn't know what it was. Well, it turned out in their explorations, their reality field got changed. And I think of it as an analogy for what is possible for us here on Earth. That's part of why I really love it so much. I even had a sense like, did I have something to do with the creation of this? And I felt a yes somehow. Like, I don't know how that could be, but just the way of like infotaining, entertaining, showing you a beautiful artistic work of entertainment that would shift raise your believability threshold, and even give you a better understanding of reality and yourself. I mean, that's to me what science fiction is. I love the genre. It can go in multiple different directions. And this is a really, Paramount Studios is now doing Star Trek Strange New Worlds, and then the Section 31. And then, oh yeah, the way to watch it is on Amazon Prime. Then you have to have a subscription to Paramount. But I'm really supporting Paramount right now because I enjoyed having a place to go watch all the other things that I missed in my busyness and discombobulation of being Angèle in the years 2010 to 2020. Like, I don't know, some of them I missed. So I caught up in recent years with everything that I know that exists, including Lower Decks. Lower Decks is an animated series and it's hilarious. They just finished it. Like, I think a couple of weeks ago, I saw the final, and I don't think they're going to do any more, but I think there are 5 or 6 seasons of this Lower Decks, and I love it. It's like cartoon for adults, and especially this adult. I love that stuff. It was fun. And then even, did they appear on, I think they even melded it into Strange New Worlds. I can't remember if it was on Lower Decks or if it was on Strange New Worlds. I can't even remember, but the characters from each appeared on one of the other. Yeah, so it was, us Trekkies, we have our ways. We enjoy that kind of stuff. Oh yeah, they had so much fun at the final episodes of Lower Decks was so good. They mashed up a whole bunch of them. T'Pau from Enterprise with this and all these characters that we know from the series, and they smashed them into an episode because we're looking at different alternate timelines, parallel realities. Wow, wow! But I mean, open your mind, expand your mind. I think a good science fiction can truly expand your mind, and some of it is disturbing as well. Coming to mind is, I think there was a show called Travelers where they talked about soul, like soul transfer. And I remember thinking, what? That's impossible. And then I watched it more recently, a second time, and go, oh my God, like there may be some truth. Like tech is out there that might be way beyond what you're just mind expansion. Like what? But anyway, so I have to talk about this. Yeah, so the idea that they got into the reality fields where they were spontaneously bursting into song and harmony and no transparency, any deep felt emotions were going to come out in the version of a song. So just imagine, like, I feel like this is a coming attraction to our world too. And it may not be like, not exactly, like, don't take it literal, but just think of it as an analogy for, like, if we had harmonious reality fields, we're going to be much more synchronizing, harmonizing with each other in everything we create, all of our experiences. You're just going to, connect so naturally and optimally and authentically all through your life, every moment of every day. And there you go. And if everyone's doing that, like everyone's enjoying themselves, everyone's contributing in a way that's really fulfilling and enjoyable to them, and everything gets done. Everything gets done. If no one wants to do it, then we find a different way around it, this kind of thing. And basically, that was the vision that was downloaded into me on October 25th, 2012. It's like all at once, like, holy what? And I was even given, like, I had these visions in my head of, like, I don't know how that was I bilocated or whatever, but I was like literally walking through the actual hospital where I was incarcerated. I was walking through the hospital and it was empty. I was being shown, oh, the hospitals will be empty. The hospitals will be empty. There'll be no one at the hospitals. And then they would repurpose them for a different use. And then I was seeing how, like, some people love to drive, so they'll be the drivers that will drive you when you need a ride. And some people are going to love this. And oh, anyways, I guess I'm not going to get into that. That wasn't my plan. So, well, let's just, and I'm also going to use this as a way of sharing some really good ideas. Number one, let me just go to my first one, which I think is called status report. Like, if something happens and you don't understand it, the first thing you would want to do is get a status report. Whoops, that's my thing. Oh, there it is. It's already ready to go. Oh, anyways, I'm going to do that later. We go over here. Status report, like, so I think right now the world needs to get a status report. Although, who do you get the report from? Who's got high integrity? Who is capable and aware of all the relevant data points? But I think we might need to do this in collaborative team groupings where we're looking at, optimizing ourselves. Maybe we need look at our gene keys hologenetic profile or whatever we do to try and match everybody, help everybody remind, what do you really want to do? What would be a great way for you to be part of the team? Like, self-selected role in the team is really, really important. But here, so they've just, here in this, I'm just going to show you this little clip. They've just been hit by this energy that's unknown to them. They don't know what's going on. And here it is. This is what happens first. So just imagine something's happened. You don't understand it. Status report. That's what we need. Status report. So I'm saying here on the earth right now, we're going to need, I feel like we're soon going to need status report, but this is just imagine that in this idea that Star Trek has a way of showing you, this is a good idea. First thing you do, status report. There we go. I just freaking love that. I love that. So we need to do status report. But you know, basically whenever they just burst into song, they can't control it. I'm gonna fool around and just keep, this one's like connect to your truth. That's a good idea, connect to your truth. And these are two leaders. One's about to take a leadership position. And it's Kirk. Yeah, James T. Kirk. Remember him in the original series? So this is prior to the original series. Yeah, because the captain's Captain Pike. And if you know Star Trek in the original series, Captain Pike, he ends up in a wheelchair. He's all disabled. Like, anyway, so I guess they didn't have it all figured out. Technology couldn't help him. He got into a very big accident. But this is pre-accident. This is before the original series that was made in 1960s. So this whole thing is done by Eugene Roddenberry, who's the son of Gene Roddenberry. He's sort of heading this new version. And so they went back in time, and this is before the original series. So here we go, Waltz of the First Officers. So yeah, they're first officers. So how our leaders need to connect to your truth. So think about that, the leaders of our world, how connected to their truth are they? I wonder. Anyways, this is a fun one. Yeah, you have to share who you really are and to be a leader. Anyway, I think this is fun. This is fun. And you see this woman here, that's La'an. She's the security officer, the head chief of security. And she saw that. And I think I could relate to this character. And she's also, Christina Chong is a very established musician, singer. I looked into the making of this, and it turns out they wrote all these songs specific to the actors. They had to know their range, and the other thing that was cool is they were kind of making this on the fly. Like everything was just coming together in real time. Like they were filming, they were still writing music, still putting lyrics together, and needed to know the storyline, and they had to kind of find a song to represent the character. So here's a button-down chief of security with she's she's related to the guy from the Wrath of Khan movie, so like a bad guy. Anyway, let's listen to her. Basically, yeah, like this is what we all have to do. It's I feel this is a very, very, very therapeutic musical. That's my opinion.
Just shine a spotlight on her innermost feelings like it's no big deal. Say whatever, whenever you like. Pursue with all my mastery. Pursue flights of fancy. Where my king, I never found that part of me. Sign design. To color inside the lines. Who am I thought of? Way too responsible. I can't help it. Sometimes I peek keyhole and see people happy. I am it.
It might be time to change your paradigm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Fiercely free and really real. It's a good idea. Do we listen to more? Let me see. I know people are probably losing their attention here, but anyways, I love this. I'm going to just leave that there. I find that one really powerful. And she's of course such an amazing singer. But here they can't keep things to themselves, so stuff just pops right out. This was a fun one. Private conversation. So he's a captain, and love partner is also a captain on another ship. So she's calling in. The security officer said, okay, that's enough. That's enough of that. We gotta stop this. And she does share with him. I think she just shared with him, I think this is a security risk. And then this happened to the captain. Yep, uh-huh. Yep, uh-huh. I'm not gonna do the whole thing, but anyways, we're gonna do, there's 1, 2, 3 more lined up. But this one was so freaking epic. So I kept saying in the last video, Nurse Chapel, it's Nurse Chapel. So Nurse Chapel does appear in the original series. She had such a small role and she wore a little short dress. Remember those short little dresses they would wear? And hers was yellow, I think. So she was the nurse. And I don't remember her having a lot of role, but she was always there and never really said that much. She wasn't as dynamic as this younger version of Nurse Chapel that appears. But anyways, Nurse Chapel and Spock had a little bit of a love connection. And then with her getting her fellowship, because I played that I'm Ready, where she was so happy she got her fellowship in medical anthropology. So she's going to be leaving for a time the ship. And so that left Spock feeling his human side. So this is kind of funny if you're a Trekkie to see Spock in this less mature form, because we always knew him as so logical and so totally tucked in and buttoned up. So this, and then this is just hilarious math kind of song.
I'm the X.
Anyways, I think you get the idea. I'm searching for why I'm the X. Oh, Spock. I mean, you can't change the Star Trek timeline. It's already in place. So they couldn't really work out in the long run. Sorry, everybody. But speaking of short dresses, remember Lieutenant Uhura? She had a long ponytail and she wore a very short little red dress. I actually bought a Halloween costume and I can see, I feel like I'm a blend between La'an, Uhura, and Chapel, because I mean, this is the communications officer and she is so multilingual. This gift, I think they really didn't represent this in the original series, but like now this backstory of Lieutenant Uhura, she can speak so many languages, and if she doesn't know it, she can learn it. So like, oh my God, this woman is so gifted in languages and communication and keep us connected. So like, that's a role. Some people are particularly good at these things. And anyways, I don't know. I think what I want to do is only share the part, like she kind of shares her backstory. Like it's kind of sad at the beginning of the song. And then at some point, let's see. I think this is where I want to be. Wait. Anyways, we'll start right here. Just listen to a little blip. I would love to have that role, to light the path and keep us connected as a human race, as a human to human connections. Oh boy. Anyway, she's also a very gifted singer. And so they could write, you know, big song for the two voices that were more musically trained. I forget the actress's name, but Uhura and La'an. So, and then We Are One. Let's see, where are we going to go? So this is the finale. Let's just listen to the extravaganza that comes out of this one. That was very embarrassing for them and not like their normal nature. Even like when you're living in a certain reality field, then all this musicality was coming out, and it was Uhura who figured out kind of what needed to be done. And so they needed to have more voices to get the harmony to a certain level so they could restore their normal, what they're used to, reality fields. But I just think it's a really fun little analogy and so much. I got to finish it. Let's see. They did it. I spoiled it for you guys. Oopsie doopsie. I did. I don't know. Why am I doing that? Why did I feel inspired to do that? Okay, so that was, but I guess I will. Now I thought I'll return. Like I do own a pair of these boots because I couldn't believe it when I saw the John Fluvog. I think one of their master stores is kind of in Edmonton. I did not realize I was a fan of the Fluvog shoe company for a long time. And the guy grew up he now lives in Vancouver, but he grew up in a small town not that far from Edmonton. So his niece, it turns out, is the manager at the store. I've come to know her. Bought a few pairs, two of the Star Trek, but my very favorite, one of my very favorite pairs of shoes comes from VIEWABLE also. But yeah, so I could not help myself to buy the black ones. The black ones are very stiff. You need both both of them really do need a long shoehorn to get your foot in. So they're not practical boots if you're taking on and off. But I wore those through the fall, and I've only once put on the gray ones. I'm waiting for them to be part of my nurse chapel costume. So and they're very soft leather. They're quite different. And their price tag's pretty high. I'm not sure if that's what I paid, but that was a chunk a whiles back. Live long and prosper. Catch the Starfleet boots on screen, outfitting the Starfleet officers of Star Trek, The Strange New Worlds. They also have a little cadet, a little shorty boot, and I'm sure that's a little easier to go off and on. But anyways, the cadet boot is like, these are the actual boots made for this show. And then they just decided to put them out for the public's use. I think talking to the manager here at the kind of flagship VIEWABLE store here in Edmonton. Oh my God, it's on White Avenue, and a few doors down is a really amazing ice cream shop. So anyways, if anyone comes to visit me, we'll go there, because actually it's like a museum. The shoes are so beautiful and so unique, and there's something for everyone in there. They're pricey, but I mean, this is the kind of thing I'm talking about. When someone has a passion and they share their creative genius, and then you kind of want to have a pair of VIEWABLEs. And not only that, there's on the sole, there's always some kind of word will get stamped if you were to walk in snow or sand. And I think it says manifold or manifest. It says manifest something on the soles of these boots. I forget. Well, I guess I could go grab mine. Let's go see what's on the bottom. They're just right here. There's mine. What does it say? Oh yeah, manifold witness, expose the truth. Oh, here, I should probably go on full screen just so you can just see what are mine. They are M7W9. I'm size 9. Okay, wait, stop share. Yeah, they've been in the dirt. Manifold witness, expose the truth. I love wearing these boots. They are awesome. And I just wear them, and only one person has ever made a comment in public when I've been wearing. I was at the Bountiful Farmers Market, and someone who works at VIEWABLE saw me, and she came up to me. She goes, "Oh, those are the Star Trek boots." And I'm like, "Oh, you're the first person who ever noticed," because they look kind of nondescript. But I feel like dress for the job you want, right? I want to be Starfleet. I want to be in Starfleet. Ha ha ha. Manifold witness, expose the truth. There's just too much fun, too much fun. But anyways, that's the end of me talking about a wicked good, wicked good. So I know in my last video, I started to show Lindsay Stirling Roundtable Rival, but I want to bring it up again today because I'm kind of taking it a little further than where we were from my last video, reactions of Wicked Good Life or something like that. And this one I wanted to emphasize because I don't know if I'm the first to inform you, but I think we are undergoing energy wars are occurring around us in our reality fields, energy wars. So I kind of like that Star Trek Subspace Rhapsody, beautiful musical extravaganza. They won many awards, I think more for their sound production and a whole bunch of different things. Anyways, you know how these award shows for the different TV, whatever. But I thought that was masterful. I think there were some people who absolutely hated it and were very triggered by it. But I do feel it's a very beautiful. But anyways, this Lindsay Stirling, she's a violin player, throws in some dancing, very eclectic and unique. And she does this roundtable rival, and she's kind of showing energy wars. I talked about the masculine and feminine in this video. I feel like it's depicting a little bit of that. But not only that, like the man rides into town, he sees the bank, he's going to rob the bank. Then she comes in, takes him, and then so there's this energy war going on between them. But let's just watch another part of this and see how the energy wars are going between the men and the women. But also look at how adaptable and creative humans are. And you know, if you have lost touch with that side of yourself, it's there. It's waiting and waiting to be uncovered. I guarantee it. So let's take a look. See how the guys, they put on some ear muff things so they could protect themselves from the energy weapon. Uh-oh, the girls are down. Oh, wow, they're protected. Oh my goodness, look at those men. I like myself a cowboy once in a while. Anyways, I just wanted to play a little bit more of that. Oh, the fun little things that humans can create. Now, my son is at the movie night at the Alberta Hospital tonight. They are watching Jurassic World Dominion. And it was, I guess, a 2022 movie. I never saw it. I was kind of curious. Oh, what the heck's that? Let's take a look at the trailer and see what we learn. Get it. Life will find a way. Yeah, because I think there's a lot of people discouraged right now. And honestly, I notice in just the recent maybe 3, 4 months, I was just noticing nature will find a way. Nature is finding a way. As much as everything seems lost, but I mean, if you're just hearing from mainstream media and politicians and corporatocracy and blah, 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 it's a doomsday, apocalypse, apocalypse, apocalypse. Oh, and by the way, I shared about Good Omens. Season 1 was, I thought, a masterpiece. Well, season 2 is actually pretty good also. I ended up finishing it on December 30th. That was part of my overstimulation. I just ended up finishing that and I was pretty taken by it. And I guess they're going to be producing a third. They're just starting production in January 2025, and it will be 90-minute kind of movie, and that's it. Then they're ending it. But like, it was a pretty, like, season 1, season 2 of Good Omens were so different from each other, completely different stories, similar characters. And in the end, I'm glad I watched it. And I feel like there's a lot of heyoka. They're basically teasing humanity in a million and one ways, but also expanding your mind and like the good guys, the bad guys, secret friendships, secret relationships, you know, keep it from your boss and everyone's secret lies, the angels and the demons. And anyway, but the very final line, I roared. I just laughed so hard. And I'm not going to tell you, I won't spoil that one. Like, if you happen to make it, there are only 6 episodes in each season, but I think they're 45 or 50 minutes long. So it's a good chunk of entertainment. But if you're looking for curated entertainment, The Disabled Angel would offer you Good Omens. Take it in time. You don't have to binge it like I binged that one pretty quick. I think I took 2 nights to watch each season. So I really went hard, but it means Christmas. I don't know, there's not much else going on. So I just did that. But at the end of season 2, one line is said, and then you know they're going to probably make it. But oh my God, I just roared. I laughed so hard. It's actually pretty entertaining, comedic, but that dry British humor, you know? So anyway, okay, let's keep watching Jurassic World Dominion. Okay, I am feeling to look up Dominion. I'm going to take a moment. Well, maybe I'll do that while we're watching. Okay, well, maybe I'll stop there. But anyways, I'll have to hear from my boy if it's a good movie worth watching. I don't know yet. Not sure. I don't necessarily feel to, but if he told me it was good, I would definitely trust his judgment. I'm just going to put this up right now. But anyways, dominion, the power or right of governing and controlling, sovereign authority, rule, control, domination, or that's a second. And then a third definition, a territory, usually of considerable size, in which a single rulership holds sway. And then 4, lands or domains subject to sovereignty or control. And then 5, government, a territory constituting a self-governing commonwealth and being one of a number of such territories united in a community of nations or empire, formerly applied to self-governing divisions of the British Empire as Canada or New Zealand. Yeah, so Dominion, Jurassic Park Dominion. Seems like there is a little bit of a battle for dominion in this world. So interesting, like Alabar Jones, you may never have heard of him. I don't know how I found him in the first place, but I remember when I found him, I was pretty inspired and intrigued by how he shares. He doesn't share all that much, but the latest that I watched today, like when I see Alabar Jones, I go right to it. I want to know what's the latest. But look at this one, it's titled, yeah, like the last 2 videos, we are on winning the war on the astral planes. So there is a war going on that you may not be aware of. And you may not believe what I'm telling you, and that is totally fine. But I actually have come to feel that he is a highly gifted and authentic human being. And he really has a pretty tough job, but luckily he's really good at it. But this latest one, the conspiracy theory to end all conspiracy theories. I'm not going to play anything of it, but I will speak briefly about it. I just wanted to draw your attention to Alabar Jones. So I think a few months in, I just was following him, kind of fascinated. Oh yeah, I think somehow I got in contact with, he did interviews with the 7 deadly sins, like demons. Anyway, demons. What's a demon? Yeah, did we create demons or did they create themselves? Where do they come from? What's going on? Is demon real? I won't even try to attach to that whole thing, but I would just say you may wish to watch this, the conspiracy theory to end all conspiracy theories. Okay, let's just, and then I think that is the last of what I was planning to share here today. Okay, let me just stop my share. And I don't like the word conspiracy theory. From what I understand, it was a term that was entered into the commons. I don't know if it was the 50s or the 40s by the CIA in the United States. Conspiracy theory, like it's a really lovely thing to call someone, oh, you're a conspiracy theorist, but I think truth seeker, I think I would prefer truth seeker, and the idea of conspiracy theory and how it's sort of gotten put into everyone's mind and how easy it is to throw it around. If someone's saying something that really doesn't, for whatever reason, just seems so off of what you understand and perceive the world to be, reality to be, yourself to be, oh, conspiracy theorist, I'm not, blah, 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 blah. A lot of people are like, yeah, conspiracy. What he shared in that video, okay, I didn't even, I just watched it and went, whoa, whoa, okay, wow. I really do feel he's speaking truth. I do. And I would imagine, knowing everything I know about the world and the commons and the collective consciousness mindsets that are out there. And then when I first came to Alabar Jones, I was just like intrigued. I was listening. Again, I was a sommelier. I was like, spit out, spit out, but then swallowed it. But interestingly, I mean, I don't know how well you know me or how many videos you've watched of me, but I do have great another mentor. I don't know if I call her mentor, but Professor Aurora of the Flying Rainbow Lasagna, which I took her course, Lessons for Full Spectrum Humans. I took it through twice. It's a lot, many hours. So I went through it twice. And I also did her Path of Light course that's recently just was released. And all of these are available on her YouTube channel for free. She just she just feels it's so important, and she's got a real more physics of consciousness, but she expanded my mind quite a bit. Before her, I believed in death. After her, I don't. After going through her full spectrum, Lessons for Full Spectrum Humans, I realized that even death is a belief system. So that's pretty big, right? Well, I guess within 3 months of me finding Alabar, somehow someone found him also and knew Aurora and said, Aurora, you got it. And so Aurora is one of the team that Alabar speaks of. And knowing that she found him authentic, that kind of made me think, wow. And then I did have one-on-one session. We didn't even talk about Alabar, but about basically it's a war that's going on. It's not a physical war. It's a war that's, you'd have to be gifted and expanded and in your true nature and have the special gifts and abilities to be a member of that team. But thank goodness, I'm very grateful that that team exists and there's lots of people on it, and they have, talk about an optimal collaborative group. Well, they work and they got each other's back. I don't even know how you'd make a movie about it, but I wouldn't be surprised if there's a movie one day made about some of the exploits of Alabar Jones. His backstory was he was an alcoholic. I think he dealt with that problem, which many, many do. And he just like, I got to get rid of this. I got to figure this out. And he went on an exploration, figured a whole bunch of stuff out. And then in the end, I guess he's become an exorcist, mental illness. He actually does sessions for people. If you have a mental illness or what someone told you was mental illness, and it may well be, there's a demon driving your car or kind of influencing you. And he's very, very gifted and talented at being able to get rid of that. I feel like he's the real deal. I really do. And here we are in an hour. What do I have anything more that I want to tell you? I'm just going to see something. I guess, yeah, we all have to find our gifts, unwrap our gifts, develop our gifts, train, remember who we really are, and then find a brazen authenticity with courage to enact it in our world. And maybe I'll just play this song. No, I don't want to just play this song. I've got to do it another way. So yeah, my 2025 playlist starts with I Am Ready. And I think we're gonna have to do it this way because I want to have all my links to find later. We will do that. And I bet you if I put I Am Ready. Oh, the whole earth is vibrating right now. Earth got slammed, G4 geomagnetic storm, massive and that was streamed 8 hours ago. Oh, I guess I haven't been on I'm Ready Star Trek. Okay, I'm going to end with this song. And this is where I'm at personally. How about you? See, that was Uhura. She's taking readings, wondering, okay, it's starting. Let's see what readings I can get. I'm going to get some data to figure out why we all burst into song and it's beautifully harmonious and we dance around and it's kind of outside of our control.
Really changes everything. A distant dream becoming real. I convinced myself it wasn't happening. And now I'm surprised how good it feels. So since the fellowship sees me as one of their own. God is the limit, my future is infinite, my possibility. Use the limit, my future is infinite, my possibilities are endless. I'm ready. Thinking every second of the joy of success arriving overnight. Not really. I've been seeing you. Now my canvas is wide, it's the open horizon. I was so hard to be with, and now the fellowship sees me as one of their own. Sky is the limit, my future.
Uhura's dancing with her little instrument in her hand. She's taking the recordings. Ooh, she's figured it out. She found the patterns. Oh, there's a really good song about that. Patterns repeating, do, 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 here all alone. Oh, patterns are repeat. Oh, we go find that one. I know. Da, da. Yeah, I played you the end of that song, but at the very beginning it starts patterns repeating because she's trying to figure it out, figure it out, figure it out, figure it out, figure it out. So I kind of see myself in her. I've been trying to figure it out, figure it out, figure it out, figure it out. Wow. Holy bejeebers. What the frick is going on around here? Okay, I'm just going to stop sharing and I'm going to, just before we close out, I will share something that I feel I can share because it's about me. I feel like something started in a good way when I did the video Optimal Health DIY. And after I felt like it took me some time to recover from that one too. So right after I made it, I said, okay, how did I do? I just asked myself, my highest aspect, how did I do? On a scale of 1 to 10, how did I do? I got a 7. You just 7 out of 10. Okay, great. No, there we go. That's good. And then crazy wise, I didn't feel that great. Again, I had a, how did I do? 7 out of 10. Oh, but the other one that I did, was like, okay, so I got 2 7s out of 10. I'm the evaluator of myself. I am the evaluator. I have a saying that I taught my kids, and I was just asking my son, do you remember that? Evaluate the evaluator. Always never accept anything unless you have a good idea of the backstory and understand that person who's evaluating you. Because, like sometimes what a person evaluates you as says more about them than you. Let me just see. What does my inner truth feel about that? Is that always true? I don't think you can ever say, never say never, never say always. But anyways, when I did reactions of a wicked good life, I instantly, like as I clicked, stopped, and I went to go probably have a half cigarette because that's what I tend to do after a video. I got an 11 out of 10. And I'm like, what? And I didn't even have the energy yesterday to look at it. So I watched it today and I thought, okay, like, I don't know. I don't get it. So I gave myself an 11 out of 10 for reactions of a wicked good life. I gave myself a 7 out of 10 for optimal health DIY. I gave myself a 7 out of 10 for Crazy Wise, which is just about to be published. And as I was listening to that final song, I checked in with this wicked good and I got a 10 out of 10. And I'm like, really? Like even I don't believe myself. So just in case you're feeling really triggered or I don't know, but actually it doesn't hurt to talk about what a different perspective. I guess what I really dream of is to really have more and more of us because I can say whatever I want. I can make a reality bubble and I have, and it's pretty fun in here. However, as we coalesce our reality bubbles, if we get to basically reality, I could say equals collective agreements. But I don't feel like people are consciously agreeing to things. I don't think they've truly given informed consent. They don't know what their options are. So you have to expand your awareness, expand your mind, be a sommelier with other people's perspectives so that we can start getting into optimal collaborative groups and have some shared vision and shared purpose and shared dreams. Like I should say, I try not to say I think, but I tend to say it. I feel, what was I about to say? I feel that a lot of people, I think they just aren't aware of the options available to them. They're just so, like, I don't know if you really caught that, like, Teal Swan had picked that card. What was it? It's just the idea of you get so used to suffering and survival and striving and struggling that it's just not even human. It's not natural human nature to accept that. You think, wait a minute, this isn't right. This isn't right. But I mean, it's gotten pretty organized. I mean, the corporatocracy. I guess what I will say from Alabar Jones, he really put some focus on the company BlackRock and what's behind that. And it is a BlackRock. And it is a technological intelligence that would like to consume everything. Pretty horrific when you think about it. However, if we don't know what we're dealing with, it's hard to overcome it. However, we are doing well thanks to Alabar's team that's sort of tackling that particular fundamental issue. But I think we need to get really much more multidisciplinary, multiple diverse perspectives. We need sometimes we're going to need some narrow perspective people, but some far-sighted people like myself and many others. I'm not the only one at all. But it's just, if we keep censoring and casting aside anyone who doesn't agree with us, if you're not part of the solution, perhaps you're part of the problem. And that idea, like, how many you're going to watch people get censored and cast aside, shamed, blamed, and ridiculed. Blame is something we should get rid of. It's not about blame. It's like, okay, what's the fundamental issue here? Okay, let's go. We got poverty, we got this, we got that. We could get collective teams and people in motion. Like, wouldn't you want to be a part of something really amazing to allow the thriving and blooming of every human being on Earth? And as a result, I mean, nature's going to love that too, just to kind of have that harmony and symphony with nature. There's so much we can do. And I think it's happening. It is happening under our noses right now. Like, even if you're not aware of everything, you don't need to be, but you do need to know, if anything, you got to focus on what's inside you. Shine a light on you. What motivates you? Are you driving your own car, or do you have some kind of blah, 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 or demonic energy frequencies giving you repeated loud messages, distracting you from your true self and making you behave in ways that serves someone else's agenda rather than your own? And we don't have to have an agenda. A natural human being doesn't have an agenda. We just want to love and be loved, create and co-create in harmony with our world and the people that we share it with. So that's my message for today, January 1st, 2025, and the time is 8:42, 2042. Signing off. Mwah! Big hug. There we go. It's over today.